Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Hey, hey, hey. Bud Light. Yeah, guys, it has come. The day is finally here. We got some news. Anheuser-Busch executives responsible for the Bud Light disaster are now gone. Zilch. Bye. This has been reported earlier by a lot of different media outlets, a lot of different YouTubers, and I wanted to give my thoughts on it because I was covering this whole Dylan Mulvaney Bud Light fiasco quite a few times, actually. In fact, some people were calling me some retarded neckbeard that has the story wrong and that Bud Light's going to recover. But no, since then, we've literally seen Bud Light giving away free beer, stores selling Bud Light at deep discounts. I remember seeing a Kroger ad not too long ago where it was like $1.49 for some of these 24 packs. We don't have Kroger's in San Antonio, Texas, so unfortunately I wasn't able to jump on that deal. But we've seen what happens with companies like Bud Light when they start to try to go on this whole aggressive, passive-aggressive, like woke side where they want to attack their main demographics and try to push some kind of stupid agenda that sacrifices everything that they're about as a company. Oh, it's because diverse. No, dude, these people that were instilled in there, the people that were hired, these executives that just got fired, made an oopsie. They made a fucking big, huge error in judgment, and they're never going to live it down. And we're going to talk about this because I pulled up this article, but I already read the basics of it. I got some little notes put together on it. We're going to talk and we're going to give our thoughts. So if you guys hadn't been paying attention, if you have not paid attention, this was a huge thing. They lost a lot of value in their stocks. Oh, they rebounded though. No, they lost value. This is going to be hard for them to come. And in a stunning turn of events, the fallout from the Bud Light disaster has finally hit a climax. We're like this is like when Thanos gets all the stones and he's like, right? And snaps. Right? Two of the highest ranking executives in Anheuser-Busch, the group vice president for marketing, which is Daniel Blake, and the Bud Light marketing president, the Bud Light marketing vice president, who her name was Alissa Heinerscheid, who is the main culprit in all of this. They have both no longer are with the company. Can I help you? Yep. Alissa Heinerscheid and Daniel Blake are no longer with the company. Can I help you with something? Is what's going on right now. And the main reason of this departure, again, is because of this whole woke fiasco, this whole LGBTQ pride narrative that they did with Dylan Mulvaney that caused quite a stir. And infamous. It sent shockwaves through the industry where Bud Light is not even America's beer anymore. I think Modelo took over at one point, right? Modelo. So the details surrounding this departure of them, they were revealed through a series of texts that were obtained by a journalist by the name of Henry Rodgers. Yeah, some journalists did some heavy digging, found some text messages, and through these messages that were provided by somebody that I think is a current regional head of marketing at this time, they shed light on the consequences that these two individuals faced for the roles in this Bud Light disaster. Now, if you remember with Alissa Heinerscheid, I always say her name fucking wrong, but the dumbass that was the Bud Light marketing viral vice president, whatever the fuck you want to call her, she basically made a statement like on a podcast or something that the Bud Light image was bad and that it was too fratty, and she basically was just insulting the core demographic of consumers for them. And this statement that she made is essentially what went back to haunt her. It was a harmless comment, I guess, or her opinion, whatever. And it's funny when people make opinions and comments and say their beliefs, when it's right-winged, they get fired right away. Limited run games. Remember the young lady that got fired for following conservative Twitter accounts and giving her opinion on Twitter? She got fired the second they had an issue with it. But it took Alissa a couple months, at least, 2-3 months, for her to get fired. And this definitely went back and haunted her. And it's funny when people trash and tarnish masculinity. Oh, it has to be diverse now. You have to go to cater to all the. No, dude, no. There's a way to be diverse and cater and not be passive aggressive towards your main audience, your main demographic, your main consumers. And they handled it completely wrong. Why would you be on the attack? Just do it and not attack your consumers. Don't make stupid statements. You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes like this, where basically this collaboration between Bud Light and Dylan Mulvaney, who's a transgender influencer, which, again, nothing wrong with being transgender. It's exacerbated. I always get that word wrong. Exacerbated, masturbated the situation. It basically escalated it, exasperated or exacerbated. I don't even know. I'd fucking resulting in this major backlash. This was a backlash that was uncanny, that you guys that has never ever seen like in a company in recent times. I think the Call of Duty situation recently with Nick Merckx got pretty close, but this remark about Bud Light being fratty went viral. Especially when this situation happened, it spread like viral, like a viral like flu. Like it was wildfire. It went like everywhere. Like at the end of Planet of the Apes. I'm sorry, I'm all over the place. It's been a long day, right? And at one point, it just became impossible for Anheuser-Busch and Bud Light as corporate companies to escape this bad marketing disaster, to the point where they made this fucking ridiculous commercial with these big Clydesdales and America themed stuff. It was a little too late, man. The negative publicity from this has definitely tarnished the brand's reputation forever, and they did everything they can to try to rectify the situation, even to this day with this firing. I thought I saw a report earlier that they were actually deleting old tweets. So, obviously, with the firing of both Blake and Heinerscheid, Bud Light is, I guess, going to attempt to take a different approach to regain their customer trust, but I don't think it's going to be possible at this. I think shifting your focus towards running ad gimmicks that are obviously pandering to men and America, freedom, and blah blah blah, and offering free beer as a means of winning back customers is it's gonna bite you back in the butt. I at this point, I think they should just quietly sell their beer, not try to pander, not try to make these big ad campaigns. Maybe make a real apology. Do you remember one of the CEOs of Anheuser-Busch made that statement? The CEO of Anheuser-Busch, not one of the CEOs, the CEO made a statement that was basically a lot of nothing and a lot of fluff. Bud Light was one of the longest standing powerhouses in the industry, and what was several decades to build its reputation just went down like that. And they got these two executives that are no longer with the company to blame, honestly. This is a reminder that there's high stakes involved in business and in marketing, brand management, and you don't want to do stupid things like this. The dust is going to be settling for a long time on this backlash, and it'll be interesting to see how Bud Light and Anheuser-Busch are going to navigate their way back, with their reputation being as it is. And I think firing these two people was definitely necessary, but long overdue. They should have been fired the minute the value dropped. I don't know if they were taking a wait-and-see approach with it, but now it's about hiring the right people to restore the brand's image in ways that don't attack the consumer base, in ways that aren't woke, and only time will tell if they can regain the trust of its loyal consumer base. So I'm going to end it there, and let me know your thoughts down below. This was a heck of a journey. I think we've only just begun, like the Carpenters would say. Right. Did any of you guys watching this? Did y'all boycott Bud Light at all? I wasn't too much like, I'm never touching them again. I'll admit it, I've had one or two, but I do think that this whole, what was this Alissa Heinerscheid thinking? with her marketing campaign. Like, what the hell was she thinking?